One of the most essential things about this work is the release of the body to the in-breath and the release of the body to the out-breath. It is a surrender, ideally, that happens without expectation, and it carries you someplace new. And it's alien, in a way, to what our culture stands for, that I'd love to talk us through a little exploration of that. To begin with, bring your attention to the pelvic floor and the whole of the pelvic bowl. And I'd like you to feel at the end of the out-breath, everything in the pelvic bowl letting go to the in-breath. So really feel the out-breath, and maybe even support it a little longer than just a regular breath in order to feel that release when the whole of the pelvic bowl releases to the in-breath. The belly lets go, the hip joints let go, the sacrum lets go, and the pelvic floor lets go. And it's a softening into the present, that release. And then bring your attention more specifically to the pelvic floor. And feel at the end of the out-breath, the pelvic floor let go. And then be aware at the end of the in-breath, the pelvic floor can also let go. So the pelvic floor is releasing to the in-breath. And releasing to the out-breath without expectation. So you don't know where this is going to take you. You're carried by it. And be aware that there's an invitation to the whole of the body to release with the pelvic floor. So bring your attention to the top of the head and feel the top of the head release with the in-breath, release with the out-breath. The pelvic floor lets go to the breath. And the top of the head joins it. It releases with it. And bring your attention to the eyes, which hold so much energy in our culture. And even with your eyes closed, allow the eyes to just release with the in-breath and release with the out-breath. So the release is initiated with the pelvic floor. The eyes just join in that release. Bring your attention to the jaw. Allow the jaw to release with the in-breath and release with the out-breath. It just softens. And it's carried, and you don't know where it's going to be carried to. And bring your attention to the tongue root. What does it mean to release the tongue root with the in-breath and release the tongue root with the out-breath? Again, it's that sense of allowing it to be carried. It's just softening and traveling with the out-breath, with the in-breath. And with the tongue root, especially with the in-breath, there's a tendency to grab a little with the tongue root. So feel what it means instead to release with the in-breath. And bring your attention to the back of the neck and the shoulders. And again, the release is initiated with the pelvic floor. And the neck and the shoulders just soften with that release. And again, you don't know where that will carry you. Allow it to carry you where it will. Bring your attention to the heart. And allow the release to initiate with the pelvic floor. And the heart just softens along with it. It just joins in. The heart is carried by the release of the breath. And it's actually carried into the present. Softens into the present. Bring your attention to the solar plexus. Allow it to release with the in-breath and release with the out-breath. What in that tender area is reluctant to release? Feel it if it's there. And give it permission to soften. Bring your attention to the back as a whole. The back is like this field of awareness. Allow the back to release with the in-breath and release with the out-breath. And again, feel the release initiated in the pelvic floor. It lets go to the in-breath. And the whole of the back is carried somewhere by that release. Bring your attention to the hip joints. Feel them as specifically as you can. And feel them release with the in-breath, release with the out-breath, initiated by the release in the pelvic floor. And bring your attention to the mass of your thighs. And feel it release to the in-breath, release to the out-breath, release to the present. If the thighs were a body of water, you'd feel that body of water breathing. Bring your attention to the legs beneath the thighs, that expanse that includes the knees, the calves, the shins, the ankles. And with a release initiated in the pelvic floor, allow the lower leg to participate, gently softening with the in-breath, releasing with the out-breath, being carried. And finally, bring your attention to the soles of the feet and feel the soles of your feet release with the in-breath, release with the out-breath. And again, the release is initiated in the pelvic floor. And the soles go along for the ride. And then bring your body, your attention to the body as a whole. The hands, the elbows, the arms, shoulders, back, head, torso, thighs, legs, soles of the feet, palms of the hands. And with your attention on the pelvic floor, surrendering to the in-breath, surrendering to the out-breath. Allow every cell in your body to participate in that surrender. Gently. And as it does, you may feel the boundary of the self softening, becoming porous, so that there's a sense actually of releasing the body to the present. With every breath. And as you're releasing the body with the in-breath, releasing the body with the out-breath, allow yourself to just receive. There is a surrender at a cellular level to the release of the breath. And in the midst of that surrender, just receive all the sensations of your breathing, all the sensations of the world around you. And without abandoning that sensitivity, that flow, that sense of porosity. We'll come back to our shared screens.